and I'm going to be sharing my screen with you. So you should be seeing my screen right now. I'm going to be going back and forth between the presentation and the browser, because I'm really excited tonight to show you the new Skype in the Classroom website. It is very intuitive compared to what we had with the site on the Microsoft Educator community. So we're going to talk about the new site, and I'll walk you through some of those new features. So I think we're all set here. Everyone's muted. And at the end, if you all are willing to share some of the things you're doing with Skype in your schools, please do so by unmuting yourself. And I'm Michelle. Thank you all for joining again. I'm a Microsoft Learning Consultant here in Miami, and I'm happy to be on the call with you tonight to share all about Microsoft and its wonderful tools and how we can use them to foster the 21st century skills in a modern classroom environment. So for tonight's session, we're talking about Skype in the classroom. So the app that you'll need is the Skype app, the consumer Skype app. So if you want to download that on your device, you can do so. And if you have questions, you can always post them in the parking lot of the team. If you're in the session tonight, you should have been added to the team. If not, feel free to reach out to me via email, and I'll add you to the team so you can stay connected. One of the things that I always like to stress is Microsoft's mission for empowering every student and every institution to achieve more, because their tools are geared toward that empowerment of teachers and that empowerment of students. And you'll see that definitely in the Skype app. And one of the things we'd like to highlight in this webinar series is not just the tool, but how it can be used to help students reach that creativity, the critical thinking, collaboration, and communication that's needed for the modern educational environment. This is just a reminder to let you know that if you are in the team for the webinar series, you will have to switch your tenants from Microsoft to your district. So just an FYI, switching tenants back and forth will help you to stay in your in your district versus the tenant for us here for the webinar. And as we get into the content, just think about the 4 C's of the 21st century skills: creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication, because those are the things that we are, going to target tonight when we look at Skype in the classroom. There is a very thorough course on the new Microsoft Education Center, and it is called the 21st Century Learning Design. And I'll show you that course once we get out of the PowerPoint, because on the new Education Center, I'm not sure if you guys know, but things have been migrated now into the new Microsoft Education Center, and you'll be able to access your courses through there. I always like to share the 21st century big ideas, just to kind of remind you all of those questions that we should be asking our students in the classroom, just to make sure that our lessons are designed with these skills in mind. For creativity, are students' solutions implemented in the real world, or are there activities? Does it require them to solve authentic real world problems? And I know one example of that's probably going to come up later on when we do a sharing of an activity that is a Skype activity that does tie in with conservation and how students are impacting that in the real world. Critical thinking, are they constructing and applying knowledge? Collaboration, are they sharing responsibility? And in communication, are they communicating their own ideas and issues with support? And there are these rubrics that are tied to each one of the skills, just to make sure that as teachers, we are setting the students up to meet these requirements for those 21st century skills. So when we are creating our learning tasks, we want to target, these bullet points that you see on the right-hand side to help us meet the requirements for creativity and for critical thinking. And for collaboration, let me move this over so you guys can see. And for communication. And all of that information is in the 21st Century Learning Design course. So let's just get right into our Skype in the Classroom. So why Skype in the Classroom? Well, it's simple. It's free. It connects classrooms worldwide with experts and other classrooms. Students have a live virtual learning experience. It's authentic. It helps students build empathy, not only for each other, but also for our planet because of the types of learning experiences they have with the virtual field trips and the guest speakers and so forth. And they see and hear about people in places that they may never go to or probably have never heard of before. So right now on the new Skype in the Classroom website, you're going to see that there are 4 types of activities that students can participate in. They're the guest speaker experiences, the virtual field trips, the mystery Skype / classrooms. Those are the classroom connections. And then there are collaborative projects that are submitted by teachers to have other classrooms connect with their own classrooms. And what you're going to find that's new in the Skype in the Classroom site is the searching and the filtering is much more effective than before. When we get into it, you'll see what I mean. The connections are going to be seamless. Once you make that calendar connection, you're going to see how it's going to be easier for the accepting of the calendar invite to take place. And then once your request is accepted, it automatically connects you in Skype with the person that you're speaking with. So you don't have to go and look them up or try to find their name. It automatically makes that connection for you, and all you have to do is click a link. You're gonna see better content and profile management, and that's important because there have been, sessions in the past that have been on the Skype in the Classroom website that you may have requested, but you never hear anything back from them. So the new website kind of allows for them for the website managers to keep track of those sessions and those experts who are active, so that it's a better experience for us as educators when we're requesting them. The calendar you're going to see is much more improved, and there are classroom connections beyond Mystery Skype. For example, there are the classroom collaborations, and even if you just want to connect with a classroom, having an older group read to a younger group, you can do that and specify what you're going to do in that connection activity. That's why it doesn't just say Mystery Skype in the description. It says classroom / Mystery Skype. So basic things just to get you started in case you need this information. You need to have 2 accounts. You need to have the consumer version of Skype, which you'll need a personal email to access or sign up for, and you'll need access to the new Skype in the Classroom website, which is www.skypeintheclassroom.com. And I'll walk you through how to create your account and all of that tonight. You will also need these things to have a successful Skype experience in your classroom: a computer or a laptop, strong internet connection, a camera that's internal or external. For example, a lot of our computers at school that are connected to our interactive boards are a little old, and they may not have a camera attached. So you'll have to get an external camera like the one you see on your screen. If you get an external camera, try to find one that has also a microphone built in. The one that you see on your screen has a camera and a microphone, so that when you do plug it in via USB onto your device, you are able to hear and see. And then, of course, an interactive board that's connected to your computer so that your students can see the Skype guests or the Skype classes that you are connecting with. Here are some other tips that will help you when you are, preparing yourself for your Skype activities. One thing that I do like to do with students or adults really is show them the different Skype videos that are available on YouTube for what a virtual field trip is, a collaboration, a mystery Skype, or a guest speaker experiences. These videos will allow them to see what the expectation is, or at least what it looks like, and it can really start a discussion with them about, what do you think your role is in making this activity successful? Or what did you see the students doing in this video? So, to help them identify what their actions are going to be in this learning experience. And the links are there. That is going to be available to you in the team, because I will post the PowerPoint in the team after the session. And also, there is I call it a Skype Playbook. One of the things with the Skype in the Classroom activities is, one, because it's getting more popular, you want to make sure that you plan your sessions ahead of time. Try to plan them out. If you're trying to plan them out for, from August to December, and then from January to June, just try to schedule your sessions ahead of time. And one way to help you organize that is by having some kind of playbook. And the table that you see there will allow you to kind of fill in what activities you're going to do, where you're going to do it, the time and the date, start time, stop time. That helps. The start time to stop time helps if you are a secondary teacher and you have multiple classes. You could be doing 2 activities for 2 days, but you're actually scheduling 6 different sessions because you're doing them for 3 classes one day and 3 classes another day. So having some kind of playbook or table like this really helps you to keep yourself organized so that you can, be successful in your implementation and keep track of, those activities that you're doing. And now we're going to talk about some teaching examples. Actually, before we do that, now is when I want to take you to the Skype site. So I'm going to take you to the Skype website right now and give you a mini tour. So I just wanted to bring this up to you. This was that 21st Century Design course. It's on the new Educator Center. You can see the look of it is even different. And you can see the badges and the certificates are here, the different modules for the course, and so on. So I just wanted to show that to you. I can provide the link for that course later as well. All right, so here we are. And if you just type in www.skypeintheclassroom.com, you'll see the site, even though it says education.skype.com, that's the name of this site. But if you do skypeintheclassroom.com, that works as well. When you first come in, it's very clean. You can start searching without even logging in. But what I'm going to do is show you the sign up process. So you click sign up for free. And what you'll do here when you're signing up for free is you're going to enter your ID number, your email, or whatever your email address is or the account is that you use for the Microsoft Educator community or the Microsoft Educator Center. So you'll enter that. And we'll enter this one here. And once you enter that account, it will migrate like your badges and your miles and all of that information from that account into your new Skype account. Okay, so that's what it will end up doing. Okay, and you probably have to go through all of those steps to do that. And now you have to enter your contact information. So your email address that is grayed out, that's tied into your login. However, this option here is to enter a contact email that is different that you would want your requests to go to. So you may want your request to go to like a personal email because you check that often or more often than your work email. So that's really up to you, or you could keep it the same. It's very important that you put your location. So I'm just going to put here, I'll just put this one. It's important that you put your location because that's how they determine, your time zone and all of that for the calendar, and your Skype profile URL. So this one, what you have to do here, and there's a nice little video that shows you how to access it. You actually have to go to your Skype profile, click on the icon, and then there's a URL for your profile that you'll copy to paste right there. So I'm going to show it to you. So I'm going to go to my Skype account here by opening my Skype app. Okay, and I'm going to click up here to the far left. Oops. I'm just pressing all kinds of buttons here. Let's try this again. Click up here and Skype profile, share profile. Things are a little slow here, and I'm going to copy to clipboard. So let me do that again for you. So I entered into my Skype account, and this is on the Skype consumer app. And on the top left-hand side, I clicked my icon that has my picture, and then I scroll down a little bit to Skype profile. When that opens up, there's an option toward the top that says share profile, and then there's my URL for my Skype account. I copy that to the clipboard, and then I am set to go. So I can just paste that URL, and when I hit register, it's going to ask me, do I want to connect my students with classrooms around the world, or do I want to volunteer my time? As a classroom teacher, you choose this option. This second option is if you are, like a guest speaker or someone who works, who's setting up those guest speaker experiences and those virtual field trips. So when you hit continue, you fill this part out. I'm joining Skype community for education purposes. Yes. I've read. Yes. Send me emails about activity plans. Sure. And you hit continue. I think I put my grandfather's name when I signed up for this. I do have another Skype account. I was just using this one as a test one, so I'm going to have to go back and delete it. So here you just have your basic information, and you notice your time zone is set because you did put your location. In the top left-hand side, you can go in and you can edit your profile. So you can go in and fill in your school organization role, add a little blurb about yourself, and change anything that you would like. Add your social links like your Twitter account, LinkedIn account, Instagram account. You can add those if you would like. Now, this is the next step for educators that you kind of have to complete. This option here to add a classroom. So you have an account and then you have a classroom. You have to set your availability to become visible on the Skype in the Classroom website so that others can connect with you. A classroom is your class, right? If you teach 6 classes and 3 of those classes are different subjects, then you can add 3 different classrooms. So if you are a technology coach or a trainer or curriculum specialist, you can add a classroom. And when you add that classroom, you just, fill out the information that best fits with your role. You can put professional development and then tell what it is that you're doing. So for example, on my actual Skype in Classroom website that I have set up for myself as a Microsoft Learning Consultant, I put here that I am a Microsoft Learning Consultant. I conduct professional development for educators, and I often connect those educators with classrooms to help them see and learn about Skype. And I added some images here, and I selected my language, number of students. I just put 20 to 30 because that's usually what I have in a typical training. And then for the age range, you can adjust it, but I definitely put 18 or over. But if you are a classroom teacher, you fill this out for your needs, basically. So I'm just going to put here test. I'm just going to put here 20 to 30. I'm going to put this just so you can see. When I hit continue, this is when now it allows me to set my availability. So in setting my availability, I can choose the day. So let's say Thursday, and I'm available. So I have to highlight my times of availability, and then I can adjust that here. So if I'm only available from 8 to 2, okay. And then if I want it to repeat weekly, I can choose to do that every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, because those are my school hours. And then I want it to end by, let's say I want it to end by school is out June 5th. So my availability is now set from now until June 5th, weekly, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I hit save, and there's my availability, and it's set. So when I hit create, those are my availability times. So when people search for me, they are able to see what my availability is to make that connection with me. So I have one classroom set up and it's visible. If I would like to add additional classrooms, I can do that as well. And again, you can add as many classrooms you want depending on what you teach. So the next thing that I want to show you on here is the collaborative projects. Collaborative projects, think of those as your lessons that you would create to connect your classroom with others. And it is much easier to submit collaborative projects than before, because it's just the descriptions, it's just much easier to fill in with the requirements here. So you have your title, you choose your subject, and if you want to put your learning objectives, and if you want to tie your learning objectives to like the ISTE standards, that would be great. And then you describe your collaborative project. And then you can add, videos or images related to your project. If it's multilingual, you can put that there. You fill in your age group. And then this message is actually a pretty neat feature. So whenever a teacher requests your collaborative project, they get this welcome message automatically. And there's a default message here, but you can certainly customize it if there's anything that you would like for the teachers to know about your project before joining. So this welcome message is here and it is customizable for you. And then once you hit create, then your lesson will be submitted for review. And then a group, what's going to happen next is a group chat will be created in Skype for you and anyone that joins your lesson once that lesson is accepted. So you'll be able to manage all your content here, all your collaborative projects here. And I wanted to show you one more thing. So if I make this classroom not visible, it's archived down here. So anything that you see that you archive will be at the bottom of your profile. If it's a lesson, if it's a collaboration or a classroom. Okay, so that's pretty much what you'll need for your profile. Those are the basics of your profile. And again, you can always go in and edit your profile by clicking edit profile. And another thing, next to your name, once you migrate your, you actually use your Mech account login into the Skype account, you'll see that your miles and your sessions and everything will have transferred over. Okay, so let's try this. So now that I showed you how to create an account, because I had to do that because I already created an account earlier, I'm going to now try to log in with my real account so I can show you what the miles look like. So let's try this. There's so many logins, I forget. So I forget which one I use for what. And then I have the authenticator that I use to verify my account just to make sure I'm not being hacked. All right, so here's my real account, and you'll see the number of miles and the sessions and the countries I visited based on my previous Mech account. Okay, so I just wanted to show that to you. And when I actually click on my profile, you can see that I have a little blurb, which I set up by editing my profile. And I also have a classroom set up, and you see the ages, 18 plus, and it tells what I do. Okay, I don't have any collaborative projects. I just have that one classroom set up. Okay, so now I want to show you the searching features in the calendar. So in the top toolbar, this is where your toolbar is. So here, the first one is define activities in classrooms. So I want you to take a look at this because this is going to blow your mind. This is what I love about the new site. Look to my left. Look how easy it is to filter your search. So if I was looking just for guest speaker sessions, I can deselect those boxes, filter by subject. Okay, so I can filter by, let's say, oh, I'm on this let's try this one. I'm on a conservation high from today's session. I can do age range, and look how, the items are decreasing once I adjust my settings. So you have your searching filters that are very, very, very intuitive. And then you can even search with availability here. Okay, so I can search by type of activity, or I can search by availability, and then put in, anything I would like, even by subject. Okay, I can even search by name. So let me just type in, since I just created that account, I'm just going to type in Sing and see what pops up for Sing. Did I put an H on my last name? Yes. So these are all of the things that pop up with Sing. I'm going to type this name and see what pops up. So if you look at this here, you can see that the person, I can search by a teacher. And what I did was I just searched a teacher's last name. This particular teacher has a profile, which is what you're going to set up when you first join. And his profile is set up with his availability. And that's why it gives the option here to connect with his class. This teacher also has a collaborative project, and it says join this project. So I want to show you something with a collaborative project. A collaborative project, it does give you all the description of the project and any links that you'll need. But there's this button here in the top right that says join this project. This allows you to join the group chat for that's on Skype, for the consumer Skype for this collaborative project. So it automatically connects you in a group chat on the consumer Skype account, so you can see anything that has been shared about this particular collaborative project in that group. Okay, and when you click just connecting with class, it allows you to view that teacher's profile. And when you're ready to connect with the class, this is where you see that intuitive calendar. The search, you definitely can change the search from day to week to month. Excuse my barking dogs. And if you note here, the availability, high demand, my requests, and you can select a day or time. Okay, and then once you do your selection, you'll get a request, like a pending request. And once that's been accepted, you'll definitely get a connection, an automatic connection, where you'll be connected with them on Skype without you having to do so. So I'm gonna end up canceling this later. I'm gonna just put, this is just a test. For a webinar. It does help when you are requesting sessions that you put any information here with the class that you're connecting with. For example, if you're connecting with a class for a mystery Skype, you want to do a mystery Skype animal versus mystery Skype map. Or if you're connecting with an author, you can tell the author that your students have just read the following book, or your students are learning about the following things, and you would like them to discuss whatever. So it does help you to put something here for the person that you're requesting to see. I know that I have heard from people who are on Skype that when they have a bunch of requests, they're more likely to respond to ones that have details in their description, because it helps them to better prepare for the session. So it only helps you to put as much information about the class and your expectations for the session in this little box, to help you make your session successful. Oh, I actually know him on Twitter. I had no idea. I didn't see his picture. I just typed in his name. Okay, so here you can see you have requested to connect with Michelle's classroom, blah, blah, blah. It tells you how many miles you'll earn. And it tells you that the host is going to review it. And that's the day and the time. So I'm going to go to my calendar. And if you notice here, I have one pending request. And that's the request that I just made to Michael. And if I want to cancel it, I can actually cancel it and let him know that it was just for a test. But once he accepts, it's going to turn green. And when it does turn green and I click on it, there's going to be an option here instead of cancel that says, like, click here to join the session or join session here, something along those lines. And when you click it, that is what will open up into the Skype consumer account that connects you with the person that you're Skyping with. And so it takes that extra however many steps away from you having to get their Skype ID, to then look them up on Skype, to then add them as a friend, to then send them a message to see if they'll respond. And it just takes all of that away. And you're able to just do everything right here within the site. You make your connection, you communicate, and you are ready to go. So I am actually going to cancel. I'm going to cancel so that it does not show up on my calendar, and it's gone. Okay, so that's pretty much the new Skype in the Classroom website. And again, the searching feature is very intuitive. And not only that, there are resources, lots of resources available. So if you actually click the searching option here for resources, it'll show you what's there. But at the top in the toolbar, it's organized resources for educators. So you have here all your resources like your idea, your Skype packets, your mystery Skype resources, activity plans, resources to prepare your Skype calls. This is great because you have a room setup guide, a diagram, roles for students, 10 tips. So those are great resources to even share with teachers who are just getting started with Skype. There are resources for students. So that these would be like your Skype passport and your certificates that you share with students, and other videos that are on demand. So, you know, these are things that you can print and customize for your students, and themed collections and guest speakers, and of course your support. I like the support. You click on it, it takes you to the Microsoft support page. Skype in the Classroom is already there, and you just tell them what the problem is. It's also very helpful if you could take a screenshot and attach it so they can see the issue. That really helps. But that's the new Skype in the Classroom website. So again, I love it. It's very intuitive, and I just love how easy the search feature now is in the new Skype in the Classroom website. But before I take questions, I do just want to talk about these two examples that I have here, these classroom examples, because I want to show these to you. Oh. And I want to then hear from you with all of the wonderful things that you are doing with your Skype in the Classroom. So the first one is actually, it targets critical thinking and creativity, and it is a Skype in the Classroom notebook. So a teacher creates a Skype in the Classroom notebook, class notebook, that she shares with her students so they can document their travels, their memories, their reflections, and they can include pictures and illustrations that they've snapped during their Skype journey, and all of their sessions are there for the students to see and keep track of for the whole year. But they can even share it with their parents. So here are a couple. Here's an example. So for every session that you have, you can have the students answer questions and even draw pictures of what their goals are, how they met the goal during the session, and what kind of goal they want to set for the next time. These are just sample questions that you can ask the students, like, hey, WL, what do you know about the topic? What did you learn about the topic? And what more do you want to learn about the topic? These are just some takeaways. What's the most important takeaway? And are there any actions you would like to take? And again, today's example that I believe Donna's going to talk about is going to target that. this is the opportunity for the students to show what they learned and what pictures they've taken, and even illustrate their learning. And I like this because one of the things that, our students need to work on is their metacognition. So these questions actually helps them to think about the process and what their role was during the Skype call and what they need to maybe improve on for the next Skype call to be better. So this is just a sample with questions that students can reflect on during the call, before the call, after the call, and it allows for creativity and critical thinking. And then the next thing that I want to share is communication, tying in Flipgrid. Flipgrid is a great tool for communication and collaboration, and Flipgrid also has what's called their disco library, which is their collection of topics that have been shared by educators. But Flipgrid has a disco library for which teachers can use to view topics that are already there for Skype in the classroom. And I just want to grab that link. Oh, did it freeze up on me? So let's see. You have to sign into Flipgrid before you can view the disco library. So that's what I was trying to do. So here is the Skype in the Classroom disco library with 39 topics that are already there. So you can either copy the topics from the disco library into your Skype library that are already there, or create a topic with similar questions, and you can see the various topics that are there based on participation in Skype events. For example, there's one for Jane Goodall, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with the Skype activity with her from this year. So again, using leveraging Flipgrid to increase that communication and collaboration piece. And it can even be done to involve the parents and to involve the students with the person that you've Skyped with, or with other classrooms, to kind of keep that conversation going even after the Skype experience. So you can see from these activities that we do target the collaboration piece, where the students are working together, but they're working together with a goal in mind, and they are definitely communicating with purpose. They are using knowledge, and it is interdisciplinary with Skype, and it does give them the opportunity to really have or implement solutions in the real world. So now we're going to hear from you guys. And I would love to hear, well, first Q&A, but I would love to hear what you guys are doing with Skype in the classroom. So if you have something to share, please share. You can unmute yourself and share some of the great things that you're doing with Skype.
Hi, Michelle.
Hey.
Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay. Do you want me to turn the camera on or no?
Oh, it's up to you. I can unshare my screen.
Okay.
That way you're front and center.
Oh, okay. All right. So I see some people that I know. Hi, Ophelia, Cheryl, and Kaya. So I am working with ESOL teachers this year, and with Michelle's guidance, support, assistance, and direction. We are doing 4 Skypes with Ron McGill, who is the Goodwill Ambassador at Zoo Miami. And the way this got started was that we are, our curriculum really encourages the teachers to go outside their textbook and look at how and where they belong in the global tribe, is kind of a term that we're using. And what this has done is it has allowed the teachers to connect with each other. So we have basically about 15 classrooms on at any one given time, and we've designated students to talk. My inspiration actually came from when I saw the Jane Goodall piece. I recognized that it was recorded and it was probably done by, a team of producers and directors. But I think that we've managed pretty well to sort of replicate it. And what it has really done is that it has engaged our students to the nth degree. Teachers are saying that the students are looking for content, they're looking for information, they're really digging deep in our conservation topics. So the first topic was the domino effect. The second one was bioliteracy, which really talked about how we're all connected. The third one, which was today, was birds, bees, butterflies, and bats. And it was really, the students have been learning about how to create a sustainable planet by protecting the pollinators and how important pollinators are. And then our next one, which will be in March, is the invasion of the invasives, which is everything that's happening in the Everglades. Whatever is happening in the Everglades, the students will be learning about it. So what I've done is I've started to curate and collect information through Wakelet and posting information that I find. Other teachers are posting information. They're creating their own Wakelets. The students are using Flipgrid to practice questions and answers and practice talking about their topic. And then students are recording and talking about the topic. So I'm not sure, Michelle, did the first one ever get posted as a lesson or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay. So we're a little bit behind on that, and that's my fault, just being so busy this year at work. But the goal was to create a few lessons that were recorded in this format. So I definitely think the first one was a really good one. The second one was a fantastic one, and today was pretty good too. I've had a lot of really positive feedback from the teachers in this space of collaboration.
Awesome.
So that's pretty much it.
Donna, do you want to talk about how that project has resulted in actions that the students are taking toward the environment?
Oh, yeah, thank you. So part of the project is project-based learning. So the teachers and the students are, well, let me go back to the teachers real quick, because I've met with them a few times in professional development, because the ESOL teachers really were not project-based learning. They didn't have that mindset. So we've been fostering what that looks like in a classroom, how to go from just a big idea to create action projects. So first started with awareness campaigns. So for example, through the research, one of them was the students started learning a lot about palm oil. So, and how palm oil is affecting the orangutans, the orangutans, the rhinos, the elephants, and tigers in Indonesia. So there is an app called the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo App, and it is an app that you download on the phone. It has a barcode scanner. So if you scan a product, it will tell you if that product uses palm oil, and if it does, you can immediately send a notification or an email to that company saying that you understand as a consumer that that product is using palm oil, which directly affects endangered animals and possibly driving these animals to extinction because they're only found in Indonesia. And it's also talking about the deforestation of the rainforest. Or you can send an email to a consumer that says, thank you for not using palm oil. I will continue to buy your product. So this project has led the kids not only to awareness campaigns, but there are several schools that are launching school-wide challenges, palm oil challenges, trying to get 50%, 80%, 100% of the students at the school to download the app and then start being a conscientious consumer of products. So different projects like that are going on. So the students, part of what I've given to them, my request is to do an awareness campaign and action plan or call to action on a big idea that touches their heart. And then finally, April 25th at Zoo Miami, they will have an event called Party for the Planet, which is like Earth Day, which occurs during the week. But they do a Party for the Planet on that Saturday. And the students will be going there. Select students will be going there, and they will hand out maybe a QR code. Maybe they'll have a poster. Maybe they'll have a banner. They'll have something to give or to show to the public that walks by, and also who visit their tent. and talk to them about what their conservation knowledge and conservation efforts are. And so it's really the first time, not only are we giving a voice, and we're using a lot of Flipgrid, giving a voice to our ESOL students, but you can obviously, understand that they are reading, they're writing, they're speaking, and they're listening on topics that really matter to them and topics that they're really excited about. And the teachers are excited. So for me, it's a win-win. My teachers are getting more of a global perspective and bringing it into the classroom to create dynamic, interesting lessons to teach ESOL. And then my students are also, going way above and beyond.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for,
That's a lot.
for sharing. No, but it touches on everything that we've talked about with the 21st century skills, with what the project entails, the amount of time, the effort, the actions the students are taking. So it definitely targets all of those things in one.
The great thing is that it's empowering the teachers to do things that they've never done, because I think for so many years we've told teachers what to do. And even though they have academic freedom, not all of them take it, but these teachers are understanding what academic freedom really looks like while still having engaging content.
Absolutely. And then it goes back to your curriculum, which is, what the district looks for.
Yeah, I hope so. I think so. With your help. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna, for sharing your project. Is there anyone else that wants to share some of the things that you've done with Skype, even if you just share some of the sessions that you've participated in and what those sessions were, so that you can help others look for certain Skype activities that were successful for you and your students?
Okay. Can I go?
Yes. Hi, Ophelia.
Hi there. Hi, guys. How are you? Hi, Donna. So I'm just going to tell you about my latest. I've done various, since last year, various Skypes and housed in the media center. So I invite the classes and invite the teachers in varying curriculums. But the last one was really a powerful one. We did a guest speaker Skype with the Holocaust Awareness Museum. And it was basically, Mr. Tuck, David Tuck, just giving in detail, just incredible detail, his experience as a Holocaust survivor. It's funny because I recorded the session and I saw these kids. They were just like, they looked like they were frozen, I think, in just listening to this man. But what was incredible about the guest speaker session is that this man, you always hear about the Holocaust, you learn about the Holocaust, you read about the Holocaust, but just with this man telling you in such distinct detail, just every detail about his experience. And he is 90 and he remembers everything from the time of day, the person, what they were wearing, the incident, the conversations. So this primary source, just hearing of that experience, that was very powerful. And I think at the end, when I, thanked him and, kind of did the closing, I was emotional. I couldn't even speak, could not speak. I just burst out in tears just because of the detail he describes his experience. So that was really powerful. So, and that's basically just that one that I've done various, but that was really incredible to hear him speak.
Wow, I can't imagine what, that was like for the kids hearing that probably for the first time, and processing all of that, he was sharing and hearing it live, right? Not just reading it in a book, but hearing it from a real life person.
It blew me away because that exactly, you always, you about the Holocaust, the atrocities, everything, but to hear in specific details this man, how his goal in life is to make sure that he tells his story so no one will forget and everyone will see that that's his goal, that he wants to share that experience. And you would think they don't want to talk about it, but boy, he does, and that's what he wants. He wants to share and talk. Yeah. He did write a book, which we are going to purchase, but it is just the detail of the what he remembers so long ago. That was what was so impressive. Just so specific details, conversations. Just it was incredible, really, to hear that. That was incredible.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I just can see so many possibilities with that, from the students reflecting in a OneNote or, coupled with, the reading of various texts and comparing and contrasting, things like that. So that's definitely a powerful experience. Can you tell us again the name of that one? What was that one called? It was from the
This one
National.
was the Holocaust Awareness Museum.
Okay.
I'll send you the details. The gentleman, his Gregory Quinn, is the gentleman that basically set up everything. He went to pick him, the gentleman up and took him to the museum, and he set everything up. So they were, and they're really willing to work, because normally their presentations are an hour, but we don't have hour classes anymore. We're 7 periods. So basically he had 40 minutes to tell his experience, and in reality, there was not a lot of time or enough time to really dive deep into questioning, but just with enough, he had enough time to give his specific details and of his experience. So, but they were willing to work with us. So that was really good.
And in that case, let's say a teacher does want to schedule, maybe she can do something with other classes and go into the auditorium or the cafeteria where there's a lot of space and do like an indoor field trip, right? To allow for time where it could be for more than just that class period, if she has multiple classes in there, and have the students, take turn asking questions.
Exactly. So, I mean, they're very, good. They're well work with you, and all they want to do is share that. They want to share their experience.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Ophelia, for sharing. Um, if there's anyone else, I know we're right at the end of time, anyone else that wants to share, or if you have any questions, I know I went over a lot with the new website. How do you guys feel about the new website? What do you think about it?
I want to really play with it. I think it's as simple. I think it looks cleaner. I think
Yeah.
that the word is. So I can't wait to transfer over all my stuff and play with it.
Awesome. The good thing is you just have to use your same login, and then your
Right.
miles and everything will transfer. The only thing that may not would be if you have lessons posted or other content like that you would need to add to the new site.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Any other questions about the site, about Skype in the classroom? Anything else that you guys would like to bring up before we exit for tonight? Well, if not, then I will post a code for you guys to redeem for today, but we will have our next webinar on the 29th of January, and here they go. They knew it was ending. On the 29th of January, I believe that is a Wednesday. Let me just make sure. Yep, January 29th at 6 p.m. and we'll be tackling Sway. So
Yay.
thank you guys again. I know some of you love Sway, so hopefully you'll be able to join on that day. So thank you all again for joining me tonight in this webinar, and I will see you in a month. Enjoy your holiday, everyone.
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas. Bye-bye.
Bye.